Hello, Sandman Nation. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, depending on whatever time of day it is when you are listening to this. It is great to have you back, and no matter what the clock says, it is always a good time to enter Sandman Sports. So let's do it. And I got to just start by welcoming back the one and only Sandman, Mr. Bill Sanders. Bill, we've missed you for sure, brother. We know you and your family have been going through a tough time. We mentioned it on this pod last week that your dad sadly passed away a little more than a week ago. Just want to tell you again how sorry we are to hear that, how much we love you, brother. It's great to have you back, see your face again, and hope you're doing okay, my friend.
Thanks, boys. It's been hard, but glad to be back. I know my dad, he was probably our number one fan. I mean, he was talking to me about it before he passed, how much he loved our pod. So I'm excited to be back, and hopefully he's listening or watching somewhere.
Yep. Yep. I know he liked me and you. I don't know that he really cared for Pat, but we'll leave that for another night. Speaking of Pat, my good friend,
Hey.
Mr. Pat Klatt, it's so nice to have you back. You sir looking phenomenal as always. How are you doing today, sir?
Fantastic. It's great to have the crew back together.
It is. It actually does feel good. It's been a while. I think this is only the second time in like the last 5 weeks we've all been together, and I know it's the first time in at least 3 weeks. So really looking forward to this one. So guys, let's jump right into it. We're gonna start as we have recently with our random questions of the day. And Pat, we'll take it easy on Bill and his return. So we'll give him the either or question, the easier one. We'll start you off with the open-ended one. Okay, here is your question today. If you had to live inside any video game universe for a month, which one would you choose and why? Okay. Any video game universe, 1 month, which one and why? All right. Come back to you in a moment. All right, Bill, here's your question. I cannot wait to hear your answer to this question. Would you rather have X-ray vision of people that you find unattractive, or would you have everyone else have X-ray vision of you?
Oh my gosh. I'd rather have X-ray vision. Yeah.
Really?
I'd rather have X-ray
Okay.
vision. Yep.
All
Yep.
right. All right.
Yeah. But you're qualifying it with only unattractive people?
Yeah,
Is that?
that's your power. Your power is X-ray vision of ugly people.
Oh, wow. Okay. All right. Well, it's better. It's better than them looking at me the whole time, I guess. I don't know.
Okay. Fair. Hey,
Yeah.
yeah. I mean, I don't know what I mean, so it makes an interesting question, I
Tough,
guess.
hard-hitting questions, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Woof. Boy.
Yeah. I mean, I think I'd be okay with people just like, hey, you want to take a peek? Take a peek. You do you. I don't know that once you see something, man, you can't really unsee it. And there's some things out there, including people, that I don't want to see.
Yeah.
So I
Can I
think I'd
turn
let
it off?
others. No, no,
What? Oh,
no,
man. All right.
no.
It's
I
always
love
on.
it's always on, dude. It's
Always
yeah.
on. Woof. That's rough.
All right, Pat, video game universe, what you got there?
It's tough. I haven't played a ton of video games since like 1999, but I mean, my first thought was like Tiger Woods golf. I could go play all these golf courses.
Oh, that's a good one.
But
Yeah.
then I was thinking maybe Contra, where I could just go run and do flips and just shoot guys with unlimited bullets and go through the jungle just kicking ass. And then if I use up, up, down, down, left, right, BA, select, start, I have unlimited lives. So,
well, I was going to say,
or
what
30,
if it's like,
I think
so
it was
we
like
just
30
recently watched the newest Jumanji, the one with The Rock and Kevin Hart, so, which is such a good movie. But in that movie, they're in the video game, but they can actually die. They each have like 3 lives, and they can like die. Wait, would that change the video game you would choose if you could actually die within that month?
Well, yeah, I wouldn't choose one where I could actually die. Duh.
I mean, I thought you might want to live a little, man. You might want that. that edge, that adrenaline.
Yeah. No, I don't.
No, you're good. You just swing golf club with Tiger. Take it easy.
Yeah, for sure.
All right.
That's a good call.
All right.
That would be fun.
Yeah. Well, guys, we don't cover video games on our site, but you might find that we have something close to X-ray vision with all of our great predictions and breakdowns. There's so many games every single day. Guys, we have so much phenomenal content. Be sure to check us out at sandmansports.com. Lots of insightful sports and betting related articles, videos, of course, this podcast, so much college and pro football stuff right now. During the week, we are now publishing up to 6 articles per day. I'm talking power rankings, Heisman heat checks, winners and losers, reviews, previews, breakdowns, predictions, even a lot of fantasy football coverage too. We've got our Sandman legend picks. Our St. Louis Syndicate is back with their weekly video series. We're starting to trickle in some NBA stuff, guys, in terms of futures betting and breaking down the different divisions and conferences. So just be sure to visit our site every single day to catch all of our awesome stuff. And of course, we'd love you to also follow us on our social media at Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, and TikTok, all at Enter Sandman Sports. Okay, guys, it is that time of year where some college fan bases are starting to get a little restless with their coaching situations. Oklahoma State recently parted ways with longtime coach Mike Gundy. Arkansas said bye-bye to Sam Pittman, and more firings are likely on the horizon. On the flip side, a handful of coaches have done outstanding jobs this season and deserve a lot of credit there. So here's what I'd like to cover in the opening. For each of the 4 major conferences, so ACC, Big 12, Big 10, SEC, let's talk a little bit about who we think is the best coach in each conference right now. Meaning, if you have a program, you are starting from scratch and you have to pick one of those coaches to lead your team, who are you picking and why? And then I want to talk a little bit about coaches on the hottest seats in each conference and why we think that. Meaning, if you have to fire one coach in that conference, who are you going to give the pink slip to? So, you can use whatever criteria you think makes sense when you are judging these coaches. All right, Pat, why don't you kick us off? Start with the ACC. Who's your number 1 coach right now in that conference and why?
I went with Mario Cristobal. He has a team rolling right now, and they look pretty good top to bottom and energized. Even ghastly looking Carson Beck, who proved me wrong.
And you did not like Carson Beck, man.
I did not. I was like, he didn't look good at Georgia. He looked kind of looked scared, and now he's got tons of energy. And they should contend for a title this year. So give me Mario Cristobal.
Yeah. Bill, what about you, man?
Well, I hated doing this. I just can't give Mario Cristobal any love. I just can't.
I know.
So
I was going to say, I'm surprised you didn't have convulsions there and some sort of seizure when Pat said that.
No, I mean, I get it. I think Pat's right. He is doing a great job this year, and they look really good. So, but I had to go old school. I went with Dabo. Look, he's having a rough year, so it's a little bit of like the reverse, I suppose. But I just thought, I looked back, he's 180 and 47. The guy's got 2 national championships. That has to mean something. To me, he's the best coach in the ACC, even though they're having a rough year.
Yeah. Yeah, I got to go with my good-looking friend there in that Cleveland motel room, Mr. Pat Klett. I got to go with Mario Cristobal. I am not going with Dabo, despite all those past credentials, because that's exactly what it is, Bill. It's in the past, man. He refuses to adapt to today's game, and he's being left behind. And I can't put him there. He's not the best coach anymore, not in today's game. So I'm going with Cristobal. He took over a 5-7 Miami team a couple years back. He had them at 10-3 2 years later last season. He has this team, as Pat said, ranked number 2. They've opened the season at 5-0 with some nice wins against Notre Dame and Florida State, and even South Florida and Florida victories are pretty solid. He's one of the best recruiters in the nation, which is definitely what you want in a coach as well. He's consistently landing top 15 high school classes. He secured the number 3 transfer portal class for 2025. He brought in Carson Beck in the transfer portal, who's going to contend for a Heisman. That guy, he does get a lot of flack for some in-game decisions, and rightfully so. He has made some wacky decisions, time management and others in the past. I will say, I feel like that's gotten better this season. I haven't seen that as much this season. I think Miami they're back. I really think they are back. I've watched a couple games this season. They're scary to play. I do think I think the U is going to make, they're definitely going to make the CFP. I think they could go pretty deep in that. And I don't think it's just for this year. I think as long as that guy stays there, I am really sold on him as a coach. And I think the U could be a player for a while. So kind of fun to have them back, actually. All right, hottest seat. Who you got on that one, Pat?
I got Bill Smell-a-Check. See what I did there? Smell-a-Check. Yeah, this team isn't even competitive in their losses. They suck complete ass. The good news is he still has game with the ladies, though. But how long will that last? Yeah, it's not going so well for Bill. So
no,
ouch.
Yeah, no, that's good. I thought about him. What about you, Bill?
Yeah, I thought about him as well. I didn't go with him though. I actually went with Mike Norvell. In terms of like great upset to start the season against Bama after last year's debacle, but now he's lost 2 games in a row and losing to Virginia. Now, I don't know, maybe they're good this year. Losing to Miami, obviously Miami is good, but I just feel like they're in the cellar, 0-2 in the ACC. Last year's debacle I just mentioned. I don't know. I mean, to me, if he doesn't turn it around, he could be definitely on a hot seat.
Yeah. No, I thought about him too. I mean, he was on a very hot seat coming into the season. I agree. He started off hot, but now he's 0-2 in the ACC, and yeah, it could go sideways real fast. So I think that's legit. Guys, for me, it's got to be Dabo. I think his time has come. Bill, all the stuff you mentioned is so true. He has done amazing stuff there. If we're having this convo 3 years ago, I might say he's the second best coach in the land after Saban. He has been there since 2007. They were a mess at that time. Do you guys remember the term Clemsoning? Because they were such a mess. They would lose games. They would find new ways to lose games and just torpedo seasons before he came. And literally the word Clemsoning was like a thing. And since then, he's won a couple national titles, but he hates the current landscape of college football. He refuses to adapt. That is only going to continue to be a bigger problem. And it's the only logical explanation as to why this proud program has fallen off the last couple of years. It's a top 10 brand. They'll be able to get any coach they want, and they need a younger or at least a less stubborn coach to get this team back to regular ACC championships and fighting for natties every single year. And it's time. Sorry, Dabo. You did great stuff there, but got to bring somebody else in, man. Your time is over. All right, let's go to the Big 12 now. Pat, who do you like there for best coach?
Big 12, I went with Utah's Kyle Whittingham. They're 4-1 this year with a loss to number 9 Texas Tech. But he's been doing it for years, and I like the way he wears his hat. That's a big criteria for me. He's got a good fit on the hat, wears it nice and tight, nice and low. It seems like a beer drinking badass dude, but yeah, he's always in the conversation, and he's been doing it for a while. So give me Kyle.
Yeah, Pat for me.
I know he's your guy. I figured
he's my guy.
Pat here.
I know. I love Kyle Whittingham. 167 and 86. He doesn't recruit the best talent into Utah, but he always seems to have really hard-nosed teams that play well. I just love the guy. I think he's a fantastic coach. I think it'd be really cool to see him drop into an SEC school that's like a recruiting juggernaut and just see what he can do. That's never going to happen. I don't think that's what he wants.
Or Clemson.
Yeah, maybe Clemson, right in the ACC school, yeah. So Kyle Whittingham's my guy.
Guys, it's so nice to have the three of us back together. It's a 3-Pat, baby. Yeah. Now you guys know I love Matt Campbell. at Iowa State, and I thought about him, but I mean, if I'm being honest and I'm being fair, Kyle Whittingham is pretty much kind of the no-brainer answer here. He's the second longest tenured coach in the game, behind only Kirk Ferentz. He's the winningest coach in Utah history, has more than 170 career wins, if you're counting the 4 this season, 17 winning seasons in 20 years, 7 double-digit win seasons, back-to-back Pac-12 titles in 21 and 22 before they moved to the Big 12. 11 bowl wins, tied for most among active coaches. That is pretty impressive, I think. Guys, this was a small program before Whittingham. People forget that. I mean, when he came on 20 years ago, they were, I don't know, were they in the Mountain West and he did so well. He made the Utes attractive to the Pac-12, which was so instrumental in this program being able to continue to grow and be respected nationally. And now, I mean, they're probably the top program from top to bottom year in and year out in the Big 12. So, yeah, he's awesome. All right, hottest seat in the Big 12. Who you got for that one, Pat?
Well, I wouldn't say he's on the hot seat because they just hired him, but Deion Sanders, man, it's just not. It's not working.
I mean, he's
for you,
been
buddy.
there 3 years now. Yeah,
Was it 3 years? Yeah.
Yeah,
just,
this is his third year.
I don't think I give him maybe another year, maybe 2. It's just
we
loved him as a player.
Yeah,
We loved him as a player, but
yeah,
it's a 2, Pat. Again,
wow.
For me, he isn't good. He wasn't good. He'll never be good as a head coach. I mean, he was a great player. That's what Pat nailed it. I mean, if not for being the superstar player, though, how would this guy be on a Big 12 sideline? I mean, it's crazy to me that he's still it's one of those things where it's like I hate even to hate on the guy because he's so bad as a head coach.
Yeah.
I mean,
he's not good.
No,
yeah, he's not good. And they had their moment in the sun last year.
And they had 6
I don't
wins.
think he's. No, they had more than 6 wins last year.
7?
I think they had 9. I think they had 9 wins.
No.
Yeah, they had a good year.
They had a bunch. They had a decent year.
All right.
Yeah.
I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah. I think he survives this season, but 2 years from now, I would be shocked if he's still the coach there, for sure. For me, I would have said Cincinnati, Scott Satterfield at the beginning of the season, but he has the Bearcats at 4-1. They just beat top 15 Iowa State. Their only loss was to Nebraska in a neutral site, Kansas City, first weekend of the season. So I think he's bought himself some time. There aren't, frankly, a ton of other obvious ones that jump out to me in this conference, but I got to go with Scott Frost at UCF. I know he had a great run there for a few years before Nebraska, but his time in Lincoln was just an unmitigated disaster, and I think showed a lot of flaws in his coaching ability. He's now back at UCF. They started 3-0, but they've lost 2 in a row to Kansas and Kansas State. They still have games this season at Cincinnati, at Baylor, at Texas Tech, and at BYU. I don't see this team going bowling this year. I know he just came back this season. And if I'm being honest, I don't think he's going to get fired this season. But to me, he does have one of the hottest seats of anyone in the conference, especially now since Gundy is gone. All right, Big Ten. Pat, who's your best coach there?
Best coach in the Big Ten, Ryan Day. He's kind of a badass. He always looks disappointed. I know you hate this pick. I knew when I was writing this, you would hate this pick.
Why would I love coaches who are born on third base, dude. I think that's a fantastic pick. Yeah, just give him everything and then applaud him for being so great. Yeah, awesome.
He keeps it together even after the losses to Michigan when people wanted him out. He just knew what we all knew, that is Ohio State has dudes all over their roster, and he's not a dirty cheater like those sign-stealing thugs from Michigan.
Yeah.
So, give me...
Dudes who haven't beaten Michigan in 4 years. So I think
it's coming. I think the whooping's coming this year for sure.
Yeah, that's what they said last year too. So
okay.
I still can't believe Michigan won that game.
We're really scared up at Ann Arbor. We're shaking our boots.
Yeah.
Ryan Day, best coach in the Big Ten. Please don't beat us. Sorry, Bill. Go ahead.
No, that's fine. I just First of all, I got
knew
to
it.
admit when I'm wrong. Colorado, 9 wins. You guys were right. So Deion, I'll give you slight props for last year. But the second thing is Ryan Day. I just witnessed Ohio State come into Montlake and beat the Huskies. Ohio State's fans are a nightmare, guys. Absolute nightmare. They are the most pompous, annoying fan base I have ever interacted with in my entire life. And I had text messages coming in before the game from Ohio State Buckeyes fans apologizing for the Ohio State Buckeye fans that we were about to just have to sit there for 4 hours listening to this guy yell so loud. He's like spitting on my son and nephew down below because he couldn't just keep the spit and saliva in his mouth with his stupid OH chants and his nonsense all game. So Ryan Day, I just witnessed, yeah, they beat the Huskies 24-6. But if that guy wasn't a moron, I felt like they would have won the game by 40 points. And the whole time I'm watching Ohio State, I just am like, what is he doing? Why? He's making this so overcomplicated and so hard. Just hand the ball off. You get 7 or 8 yards every single play. So I can't give it to Ryan Day, but I'm giving Pat some credit. And I know he's a good coach. I'm not going to completely bag on him. But for me, the best coach in the Big Ten, and you guys are absolutely not going to believe this, might be the most shocking thing I've ever said in 60 episodes of this podcast. The way I looked at this is, who would I want coaching the Huskies if not for Jed Fish, who I don't really love that much, but who would it be in the Big Ten? Dan Lanning.
Yeah.
That would be my head coach.
The
kid, he's young, he's energetic, he's a great recruiter, he knows ball. Like, everything about him I like and I hate at the same time because he's at Oregon, but Dan Lanning is my best coach in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
And please delete this, Brooke, from ever
it's not
being on the podcast.
I can't say it's the definitive answer, but it's the correct answer. Dan Lanning is the answer. Listen to this, guys. His record so far is 35-6 overall, highest winning percentage in Oregon history with any coach that's been there 2 or more seasons. 10-3, 12-2, 13-1, and now 5-0. Those are his records the first 3.5 seasons. He won the conference title in Oregon's first year last year in the Big Ten. They went undefeated, finishing number 1 before heading into the CFP. They just knocked off Penn State and Happy Valley in a whiteout. He consistently delivers in big matchups, elite recruiting classes. Here's the thing with Oregon now under him. I love their offense, but Oregon now is a tough, disciplined defense, which is different than in the past. And here's what is really scary to me. They are adapting to the Big Ten, but they're also bringing their own flavor to it, which is going to be hard for the Big Ten to compete with. They're going to be a powerhouse in that conference for years to come. And it scares me as a Michigan fan because Dan Lanning I think he's one of the 3-4 best coaches in the country. Now, why
This
not
week?
Ryan Day, guys? I just would never hire Ryan Day as my first choice. I do believe he was born on third base, and Ohio State's name and brand and legacy is the reason he's been successful, not the other way around. He didn't come in and make this team better. This team made him better. I'm not saying he's not a good coach. I think he's a very good coach, but he is not close to being the best in the Big Ten, regardless of what his record shows year in and year out. You hit it perfectly, Bill. He makes weird decisions. They should have beat Michigan by 25 last year. All they had to do was pass the ball, and they were like, we are going to show you that we can run it down your throats because we're a bigger, badder team than you. Well, you couldn't. All you had to do was pass. You would have beat us. And he just, he's just, I don't know. He makes weird decisions, but yeah. So he would definitely not be my number 1 choice, but I love Lanning. All right. Hottest seat. Who you got there, Pat?
Everyone rips James Franklin for not being able to win big games, and last week's loss to UCLA definitely won't help the chatter, but I'm going with Wisconsin's Luke Fickell. That program was always relevant in the 2000s, but once he started there, they have moved back to mediocrity, And let me just say, as a coach for 25 years, I've coached some kids, teaching tennis who have won state championships and also kids who have sucked ass. I think it's difficult to say if my coaching determined their fate, like you were saying, being born on third base. So it's hard for me to sit here and say this guy sucks as a coach because you just don't know. Maybe he's, the other thing too is like you could be a coaching wizard, but if kids don't want to play for you because you have a unibrow or bad BO or you're just not a good recruiter, you're not a good salesman, then you're going to suffer there, So it's hard to say that these people are really bad coaches, but it could be a product of bad kids coming in or bad things don't mesh well. But yeah, I think Luke Fickell's definitely on the hot seat. That's not going well for him.
What about you, Bill?
Yeah, I mean, Luke Fickell was right there, but I'm actually going to go James Franklin. Now, this is probably similar to Ryan Day in some respects because none of us are saying that Ryan Day is not a good coach. We're just saying that he may not be the best coach in the Big Ten. Look, James Franklin, and I said this, I remember because I'm pretty sure, Bierman, you might have had Penn State in your picks before the season. And my comment at the time was James Franklin is going to James Franklin. And at some point this year, that's going to hurt Penn State. And we've already seen it now twice. I mean, there's no way that Penn State lost to UCLA last weekend. I will not believe it. That could not have happened. That team is awful.
Dude, so we were at a wedding with no reception in Northern Michigan. I couldn't see any scores. I get home to the hotel and I look at my texts and Brady is texting me and Mac saying, most shocking loss I can ever remember. I cannot believe Penn State lost. And I was like, Penn State lost? Who the hell did they play? I go and look, I'm like, Penn State lost to UCLA? Are you kidding me?
I know.
It really is. Well, I'm going to talk about James Franklin in my hot takes. I can't even talk about him in the opening. I got to wait till we get to the hot takes.
I think the other thing I'd say about James Franklin before kicking it to you, Bierman, is this guy's he'll get fired. Maybe it's not at the end of this year, but he's gonna get fired and he's gonna go to a different school and he's gonna be a great coach. Yeah. And he's gonna get 10 wins for that school or more, right? I mean, the guy's not a terrible coach, but for whatever reason, in big moments, in big games, he just has not delivered for the last 4 or 5 years. And look, I wish I was in a fan base where 10 wins was like a mediocre season. But that's the expectation for Penn State, and he's just not stepped up in the big moments. So, anyway, he's my hot seat in the Big Ten.
So I have two, but we'll get to Mr. Franklin in my hot takes. I'm going with Luke Fickell. Pat, I mean, you were on last week with me. I actually talked about Luke in my hot takes. Was saying what is Wisconsin doing? I've seen this guy at UC. I saw him when he was an assistant at Ohio State. He is not a good coach. And I railed on him in my 6-pack. I won't go into it too much right now. Guys, there's 2.5 minutes left. They're down by 14. Michigan is running the ball. He never called the timeout. Wow. He left the game. The game ended with Wisconsin having all 3 timeouts. What?
That's
Fired.
Tough. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's giving up.
Yeah, Exactly. All right, SEC, who you got there, best coach, Pat?
SEC. This conference is loaded with good coaches and teams, so it's hard to pick number one. I like Heupel and always love former players I remember from years past, but give me Ole Miss and Lane Kiffin just for the Minnesota ties and Minnesota bias. His dad coach, he went to school with Juvie. He's a Bloomington Jefferson kid. I mean, look, they were relevant last year and already 3-0 in the conference this year without Jackson. You got a fucking dart in your neck, and they look good again. So, Lane Kiffin.
Wow. Lane Kiffin. All right. Mm-hmm. I did not expect that one.
And Bill? He seems like he seems like a decent guy. He gives good sideline interviews. I think that's a big criteria.
Bill said he's like changed his life around. I think you mentioned that. Yeah.
Well, I wanted to go Kirby Smart for a lot of different reasons. You guys know my love for Kalen DeBoer. I actually think Kalen DeBoer might be the best coach in the country, not just the SEC. Yes, I have the Husky bias, but the guy is incredible to me in terms of building a program. Now, of course, he left my program, which leaves a giant gaping hole in my Husky heart. But what I love about this guy is that you're seeing him, he's getting his players, he's implementing his system, he's getting his coaches, he's got his OC, Ryan Grubb, who was with him at Washington. And he's starting to just implement that throughout the program. And I think, yeah, sure, they had the hiccup against Florida State to start the year, but I think you're really starting to see Alabama roll now. Ty Simpson's looking good. They have skilled position players everywhere. They've got great talent in the trenches. And Kalen DeBoer is a really, really good recruiter. And so I think that he's going to be a great coach at Alabama for a long time to come.
Yeah, I can't argue with both those, but I got to go with Kirby Smart, guys. I mean,
Yeah.
in 9 seasons, he's won at an 847 clip. He's gone 105-19 overall. Only 3 of his losses have come against unranked teams. He doesn't lose against teams he shouldn't lose to. He's 58-7 in SEC regular season play since 2017. I mean, just
incredible.
let that sink in for a second.
Yeah.
From 2019 to 2023, he only had 6 total losses. 4 were against Nick Saban. 1 was against LSU. And then the other one was a random. An NFL pipeline, just draft pick after draft pick, 2 national titles, 3 SEC titles. He's 5-2 in the college football playoffs. To me, Georgia's replaced Alabama as the benchmark program in our nation. So yeah, I think he is the best coach in the country. All right, hottest seat. What do you got there, Pat?
I just went with Steve Sarkisian, mainly because I hate his sideline interviews. I mean, I'm not out here analyzing film, guys. My criteria is very simple. If I watch you in an interview, I'm judging you, and I'm asking myself, would I want to be stuck in a room with this guy for 10 minutes? And 85% of the time I'm right. And I hate to prejudge, but this guy seems like douchey McDouche.
I don't know.
And I don't know. That's my reasoning. And they're struggling. Arch, they're not making it easy on Arch. They're putting him in tough situations.
Well, for years it was, why are the Patriots so good? Tom Brady or Bill Belichick? To me, right now, it's, why are the Longhorns so bad? Is it Steve Sarkisian or is it Arch Manning? I don't know.
Arch Manning had some bad throws though this last week.
I tend to believe it's Arch, to be honest with you.
I think it's Arch.
I do.
For me, in the SEC, I went with Mark Stoops. Look, Kentucky's a basketball school. It's hard to say like Kentucky football but they're just not good. And they are the most infuriating team, I think, to try to predict, because one week their defense will look like they're just going to stop the world. And then the next week they give up 40 points to some team. And you're just like, who is this team? There's been a bunch of stuff in the media I saw this week about buyouts and other things. But to me, that guy's not long for Kentucky. So,
yeah. No, I'm with you, man. I mean, Billy Napier, I think it doesn't have a lot of time left either, but his recent win against Texas gave him a little bit longer release. I hate to say it because I do think he's done a respectable job in an impossible place to coach football, but I'm right there with you. Mark Stoops, I think, is unfortunate on his way out. He's only 28-62 in the SEC conference, including 3-32. 3-32 against SEC teams with winning records. That's tough. This team finished 4-8 last year. It's their worst since 2013. So he's hit a dry spell here. They snapped an 8-year bull streak. They're currently 0-3 in the SEC, 2-3 overall. Ticket sales have been down. Their fan base is starting to grow. Little restless. Yeah, it's almost an impossible place to coach. But I think he's in trouble. You're right. The buyout may be protecting him a little bit, but I think he's out. Okay, boys. Well, nice job with a look at coaches and who's doing well and who might be in trouble. But now let's get to the rest of the show. In just a moment, we'll do Nailed It for week 5. Then we'll share our hot takes. Then it's Stone Cold Locks time, where this trio had another good week. And so did guest host Brandon Lewis. So nice job there. And then finally, we'll wrap up the show with a top 5, another nostalgic look back at our childhoods. And I think this will be a very fun one, too. And of course, we'll have plenty of fun and shenanigans along the way, including Pat telling us why it drives him crazy that Kansas is pronounced the way it is and Arkansas is not pronounced the same way. So he will make the case for either Arkansas or Kansas, and then he'll get that petition up and load it on our website so you can sign it. Okay, gentlemen, it is time for the segment Sweeping America. It is time for Nailed It. We are back for week 5, and I'm going to turn it over to Bill in just a moment. I just want to remind everyone, we have a listener competition. It is very easy to join. Go to sandmansports.com. Congrats to David Key for winning week 4 last week, punching his ticket to the Super Bowl finale edition. It's a no-brainer. We hope you join. Go to sandmansports.com for more information. All right, Bill, what do you got, man?
Hey, do you mind giving us a tally on where we're at?
Yeah. Okay. We had a weird thing last week where we had a lot of people tie between the three of us, and there were actually 9 points awarded. It nailed it in the 5 questions because there were a lot of ties between me and Pat, or Bill and Pat, or me and Bill. Anyways, it all ended up where we each got 3 points each. So
that was crazy.
No blood, but that means Pat now has 11, Bill has 10, and I have 9. So
all right. Yeah, that's what I thought. I thought we were still really bunched up and tight.
Yeah, so all very close. Yep.
Nice. All right. So let's get into it. There's actually some good college football games this weekend. So the focus is definitely on college football, but not necessarily on all the best games. So you'll see what I mean in a second. So last week, and we've just talked about this, but Penn State suffered one of the most improbable upsets you'll ever see, losing to 0-4 UCLA. They were 24.5-point favorites, I believe. And this week, they actually face another Big Ten doormat, Northwestern. So they're 21.5-point favorites, and it's at Beaver Stadium. So they return home to play Northwestern. My question is, what will be the margin of victory in this game? Penn State versus Northwestern. Colette is predicting one of the biggest blowouts in the history of college football. 74 points.
I went pretty high, too. I thought I was going high.
Sanders 24, Bierman 44. Okay, yeah, see, you guys were where I was at, too. I think this game is going to be a demolition. I think Penn State...
Northwestern's so bad.
They are breaking out the serious can this week on Northwestern. Yep. So you guys are probably going to be closer, too. Nice job. All right. All right, question number 2. Number 7, Indiana travels to Eugene, Autzen Stadium, to face number 3, Oregon. I can't wait for this game. I think this game's going to be a blast. The Ducks are 7.5-point favorites. The over-under is 55.5. How many total points will be scored in this one? All right, Sanders 55. I went right at the over-under. Bierman 68. Klett 49. All right. Yeah, I think that's going to be a fun one. All right, question number 3, and this is what I was referring to earlier when I said these aren't all great games. Wazoo has been really up and down this year. However, they are holding it down for the Pac-2. They're 3-2. Oregon State is still winless, 0-5. However, Wazoo heads to Oxford to face Ole Miss this weekend. We talked a lot about Lane Kiffin. It appears like this game's going to be a complete blowout. They are 32.5-point favorites. My question is, how many points will the Cougs score? Okay. Bierman's in at 17, Klett 15, Sanders 13.
Okay. Sandwiched right in the middle.
Oh, yeah. Where you I actually was going to type 17, and then I changed it to 13 last second. So Bierman and I are on the same page. All right. Question number 4. Going to baseball for this one. Okay. This one's going to be a little tricky, but I think this is just random, and it's going to be random for everybody. So the NLDS will have 2 possible Game 5s on Saturday. Okay, 2 possible Game 5s if required. The Cubs are currently up 1-0 over the Brew Crew. The Dodgers are up 2-0 now. They just won earlier as we're recording this against the Phillies. Both of these games will only be played if necessary. So the question is simple. How many total runs will be scored in the 0, 1, or 2 games? on Saturday. Okay, this is 100% random. For us three, we're all operating with the same information, right? How many games do you think? Okay, Klett's in, so he's all right. All right, Klett's in for 12. Sanders 8. Bierman 0. Bierman, I like that. I was too chicken to go with 0. Nice guess.
You're so smart.
Yeah, you're so smart. All right, last question. Question 5. NHL season kicks off this weekend. All three of our beloved hometown squads take the ice for the openers. Your two teams actually play each other on Saturday night.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. So the Kraken are entertaining the Vegas Golden Knights. The Wild host the Blue Jackets. The question is, how many goals will our three teams score in total on Saturday night? Wild, Blue Jackets, Kraken. All right. Klett, 9. Bierman, 8. Sanders, 9. All right. That's nailed it. Good luck, everybody. Glad you guys are playing.
Nice.
Keep trying to
so good
recruit
to have you
more
back,
guys,
dude.
too.
Let's
Tamales.
get into hot takes. Yeah, that's right. It's time for Sandman Sports Hot Takes, brought to you by Double Take Salsa. Double Take is where craft meets kick, guys. They make salsa and hot sauce with fresh, top-notch ingredients, always putting flavor ahead of heat. The result? A bold taste you can't stop eating, followed by just the right level of spice to keep you coming back. If salsa is your thing and you think you've tried it all, Double Take will change your mind. Learn how to order some at doubletakesalsa.com and check them out on Facebook and Instagram. All right, Mr. Klett, it is hot take time.
Hot
Yeah.
takes. Salsa. Guys, who's your favorite player right now in the NFL? Do you have one?
Daniel Jones.
First, you like DJ. Nice. All right.
Dude, I am all fucking in on Daniel Jones, dude. Yeah.
Bill, you got good for him.
That is a
DJ.
That's a really good question, Pat. I
Yeah.
don't know if I mean, I would have to sit here and think about it.
Yeah.
How about you?
You can
Save
you
me
can
in the
steal
moment.
I'm
Daniel
going with
Jones. You
little
can
lad
steal mine.
McConkey. Little lad McConkey. Look at him
Nice.
run, the little guy. He had a great punt return that was called back.
That was
yesterday.
that sucked. Dude, the Chargers sucked. Like they started off like wildfire and then
now lost their running back.
It's funny. Just look at he's just fun. I like the
they
little
lost
guys.
Hampton?
I also
Did they lose Hampton? Oh,
they just put him on the IR, I think.
Oh, that's not good for one of my fantasy teams. I didn't know that.
Bierman, you have
I also
every
like
player
this
on
Drake
some
Maye
fantasy
kid.
team. Yeah,
Wow.
Drake May's been really good.
He's like a young Josh Allen. I mean, that's a stretch because Josh Allen basically
I don't think that's a stretch.
He's like a young Josh Allen. Watching those guys play last night against each other was fun. I mean, Josh Allen bounces off hits though, whereas most NFL quarterbacks drop like a sack of potatoes. He just kind of almost like Roethlisberger used to do, just kind of gets nudged out of, off his spot, but he's not going down a lot of times. And, I mean, there's so many young, good players right out there right now. And, week 5 is where you start to feel, I'm starting to get a good idea of the league and at least feel confident going forward with my bets. So I'm loving the NFL right now. And there are so many sports going on. I feel bad for baseball. That's kind of my main take here is baseball. You got Shohei Ohtani pitching in big games and he's unbelievable. You got this great series all across the board, but I mean, they need to have the World Series in August. I know it's the Fall Classic, but how about first week in September and we push football to mid-September start? Okay, so it can still technically be fall. And I mean, who's with me? Start baseball in March. Have games that count.
Does that mean you're shortening? Are you shortening the MLB season, or are you starting MLB?
I mean, you just started a little earlier.
Super Bowl.
Started a little earlier, but start baseball at the games that count at spring training facilities. No one's. I mean, they'll probably feel like maybe they lose a little revenue. I mean, I think I don't know. It just doesn't make sense. Football is king. But baseball is America's pastime. And I love both.
This is a hot take. This is a hot take.
This is a hot take, and you're absolutely right, Pat. Like baseball, it's so important all year long, and then the biggest part of their season, people are just like, I don't really give a
is
fuck.
when the NFL's heating up. It's like it's so bad.
Unless your team's in it. I probably, now that the Reds are gone, I probably will not watch a postseason MLB yet.
It's hard. It's tough.
I might if Seattle makes it, just for Bill.
Yeah, I don't blame
honestly.
you. No, I know that feeling all too well.
Can we perhaps we can have a sports summit where we bring the heads of all the 4 major sports together? Well, maybe 5, and have MLS take meeting notes and just like get them together and figure it out. Figure out a way to schedule things. I mean, baseball's gotta shorten their season, maybe by like 12 games, 150. That's a good number.
Bill,
it's a good round number.
Bill,
yeah.
Bill, who is this guy that came prepared today? Who is this guy?
I don't know.
Dude, I think
Pat's down.
Here's the thing.
Dude, I gotta tell you,
I had a lot of time in my truck.
Pat has been bringing it. I think Pat was like, hey man, we got these new guys coming in, these guests, Brandon and Mike. They got to deal with Bierman. I got to bring it. I got to make them feel comfortable and welcoming. He's brought it. He really has stepped up. So
I also had a lot of time in the truck today.
This is the new Pat. God, I love it, man.
Yeah.
Who knew you go to Cleveland and you just completely change?
Yeah.
Wow.
We're on a project right now where I'd not really needed. So I was sitting in the truck all day and I read half a Stephen King book and did my note prep.
Did some prep. There you go.
It was great.
Awesome.
So, yeah, but that's it. I mean, we just gotta, I just feel bad for baseball. I want to watch both, but when it comes down to it, football's king, No,
dude, that is kudos. I'm with you.
I think you're spot on, actually. I just think Eric nailed it as well, that when your team's in it,
that helps.
I mean, honestly, guys, I did not care if the Huskies beat Maryland on Saturday. I didn't care. I was just waiting for the Mariners game to start. Then on Sunday, it was the Seahawks game. Don't really care. Hopefully they win. No, they didn't win. Okay, well, now we go.
I wish I could have watched that Seahawks Buccaneers game.
It was a great game.
One I wanted to watch.
It actually was a good game. Yeah, it was. Baker Mayfield, man, I'm telling you, this guy, I feel like he needs to get some more flowers.
Such a redemption story, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, it's cool.
No,
and Sam Darnold's been really good for the Seahawks. Really good so far. So, yeah, our Seahawks defense just could not stop them. It was sad that they lost that one. It was a great football game. I love that. That's interesting, especially the summit idea. I think it would be really interesting to see heads of all the sports come together and what would come of that. It would actually be quite interesting if you had like a fly on the wall or a fly on the wall mic in that, and you could actually listen up to what was happening. I've got 2 things. They're rants. I'll try to make them both quick. The first one is dropping the football at the 1-inch line has got to be the stupidest thing that you can do in all of sports. And I'm pretty sure we've talked about this on a podcast. But just carry the ball to the end of the end zone. If you have Arizona in Survivor, maybe I did. I'm just going to throw this out there. Maybe I did. And you lose the game because this kid drops the ball at the 1-inch line. I'm just going to say it should probably be on your hot take list to start the next podcast, because please, athletes around the world, if you're watching this and you play football, how does it make you cooler if you drop the ball 1 inch before you get the points? No, it doesn't. So that's my first rant.
Yeah.
Whatever that Mercado's name is, whatever that kid is.
No, dude,
you're dead to
me. It's ridiculous. And sadly, Bill, you have made that hot take before.
Yeah.
But sadly, you're probably going to make it again.
That's the thing. I know. Yeah, I have that in my notes too. It's one of those like baffling things of these are high level, really, really good athletes.
There's no excuse. Dude, that Arizona game was mind-boggling. I mean,
mind-boggling.
The interception and then
the kick into the end zone.
Yeah,
they recover it.
I mean, if you had Arizona, I feel bad for you.
That was bad
that
beat
was a
times 3.
gut punch. That was a gut punch on Survivor. I actually kind of want to listen to the. I mean, I listen to them every week, but I'll be curious to hear the Syndicate guys talk about that because
Oh man, yeah.
I mean, that crushed a lot of Survivor.
I
guys.
told you in my Stone Cold locks, I picked Tennessee because
You had 'em.
Arizona
Nice.
is not that good.
No, you did,
No.
and I actually listened to you. I sprinkled a little money.
In hindsight,
Tennessee.
that 9.5 point line, I was like, man, that just seemed like a gift. Anyway, that's my first one. My second one, preseason rankings are the stupidest thing of all time in the NCAAs. Why? Why do we say Texas is the number 1 team in the country, only to them have them lose multiple games and get?
Wasn't
Why
Penn
don't we just
State
wait
2?
5 weeks? Penn State
I
was
think
2.
Penn State was 2.
Notre Dame, Pat, sorry to rip on your ancestors for a second, but Notre Dame is still 16th in the country with 2 losses. Why? How? I mean, just because they're Notre Dame, is it? And yes, that is the answer. That is the answer. That's why they're 16th.
And they played Texas A&M tough. Just lost by 1.
Hey, I'm not even really bashing Notre Dame. I want to be very clear. I'm just saying that preseason rankings are based on this program's history. That it has nothing to do with how good they are in this moment, in this year. So why don't we just wait? Hey, the Sports Summit can talk about this too, Pat. Why don't we just wait 5 weeks? They do it for the CFP, right? Those rankings don't even come out for a while longer. Why don't they? Who cares about preseason rankings? They're the most ridiculous, dumb thing of all time. You haven't even seen these kids play.
Well, they do it to sell like
kids.
magazines and to sell like ESPN, to sell ratings.
Talk
and
about
clicks.
it.
That's exactly why they
it's
do
like,
it. They do it so they can say number 1 versus number 2, number 6 versus number 10.
I mean,
dude, you're absolutely right, Bill.
I'm sitting here in Seattle. My team's 4-1, right? And I'm like, oh, we're receiving votes this week. Oh, well, that's really nice. Who did the Huskies lose to? Oh, the number 1 team in the country. Okay,
they played them pretty good too.
So
how are we?
How are we 36th in the country at the moment? Stop it! It's so dumb. Yeah. Oh my god, I can't even stand it. Anyway, that's it. Bierman, over to you. I'm done with my hot takes.
I love it. You guys, wow, but awesome. Bringing it strong. I love it. I'm gonna keep mine short, guys. I'm not even a Penn State fan, guys, but like when I think about it, it gets me crazy. Penn State just had the most shocking loss of the season, perhaps of the decade. And I don't think I'm exaggerating when I say that. They were 24.5
Oh, no, that was a couple decades ago.
You shut your mouth, Pat Clatt. You shut your fucking mouth, Pat Clatt. They were 24.5 point favorites against winless UCLA, and they lost 42-37. Let me repeat that again. They were 24.5 point favorites against winless UCLA, and they lost 42-37. Guys, they gave up 42 points. This is against the UCLA team who scored 57 total points in their 4 losses prior to this. This is against a UCLA team that lost 35-10 to New Mexico. New Mexico.
Yes.
The Lobos of New Mexico beat them by 25 points at UCLA. Penn State lost by 5. I have been the biggest proponent of James Franklin for years. I love what he and Bill O'Brien instilled, brought back to the program after their dark days, after the disaster of the Jerry Sandusky aftermath. But that was a long time ago, guys. And Franklin has been there since 2014. And listen to this. Interim head coach Tim Skipper for UCLA has the exact same number of Big Ten wins against top 10 teams as James Franklin has.
That's mind-boggling.
Skipper has 1, and Franklin is 1-18 against top 10 ranked Big Ten teams in his tenure. This was by far Penn State's best team in a decade, and for him to allow this chance to be squandered away in this manner is unacceptable. By all accounts, he's a wonderful and kind man. He deserves credit for the stability he brought back to this program. But if I'm an Indian Lion fan, it is time for change right now after that debacle out in the Rose Bowl. It's just disgusting, and Franklin should be ashamed of himself. Real quick, guys, 2 quick shout outs to some pretty cool accomplishments. Number 1, Western Carolina quarterback Karim Dickens set NCAA history over the weekend when he connected on 46 straight completions.
Wow.
46 straight completions. He finished 53 for 56 for 378 yards and 3 touchdowns. And
Only
thankfully, yes,
378 yards.
I know.
That's great.
I know.
Like short out routes.
I know. And yes,
yeah.
they did win, thankfully. They won the game 23-21. And secondly, guys, listen to this. Spencer Rattler was drafted out of South Carolina by the New Orleans Saints in the 5th round, 150th overall in the 2024 NFL Draft. Well, over the weekend, Rattler became the first drafted quarterback by the Saints to win a game for them since 1998. That is right. You heard it.
Wow.
27 years. They didn't
Breeze
draft
was
Drew
with
Brees.
Chargers.
Chargers. 27 years since a quarterback they
Airbear.
drafted one for them. Maybe Bobby Abear.
Bobby Abear.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
That's incredible, man. Yeah. So, all right. That's all I got, boys. We are at Stone Cold Lock time. Guys, we had another decent week. We're slowly rounding back into form. Eric and Bill both won 2-1. We're actually still waiting on Pat's verdict.
It's
Pat,
looking
where
good.
are we
I mean, you scheduled the
it is looking
podcast during the game, but Jags are up 21-14.
The Jags are up 21-14.
Yep.
Okay, for all of our
21 straight.
listeners, when we started this, Pat was giving me this gloom and doom. I may have backed the Jags too. Of 14 down 14-0, and I've
down
been
14
depressed. I might have taken it easier on James Franklin there had I known this. I'm in a better mood now. But all right, let's keep it going, Jags. Let's keep it going. All right, so Pat might be 2-1. We'll keep our fingers crossed. Brandon Lewis took the Chiefs in the game too. So, but he was 2-0 in his picks prior to that. So, either way, guys, we all did very well. So right now, I'm not counting Pat because we don't know yet, but counting me and Bill, and Pat's 1-1. Bill, you're at 11-7. Pat, you're 9-8. Could be at 10-8 at the end of this, and I'm at 8-9-1. So I'm getting there. I'm slowly clawing my way back after a really rough start. Pat, why don't you get us started, man? What do you got for your first Stone Cold Lock?
You know what Stone Cold Lock I had last week that killed me was the Rams losing to San Fran. San Fran was beat up. I put $100,000 in Ben Harper on it.
Oh, you did? Shoot.
Yes, man. I think I'm down on like $60,000 in that.
That was a shocking.
That one killed me.
Yeah.
All right, I got Tampa Bay given 2.5 at home versus San Fran. I am going against San Fran again, even though it backfired horribly in all my bets.
That's actually a nice bet. I like that.
Baker.
One. They're good.
And San Fran having to travel to Tampa Bay. Give me Bucks.
Yeah, that's good.
I like it. So my first one is going with my beloved hometown Washington Huskies. They play Rutgers on Friday night. I love the under 58.5. You know, Washington's coming off the long East Coast trip to Maryland. I don't know if you guys saw that. Down 20-0 in the fourth quarter. The Huskies won that game. Yeah. Bonkers.
Wow. It was so Maryland plus the points was one of my Stone Cold locks, and they still covered.
Yeah, nice. I liked I like Maryland as well with the points. Yeah, I like that picker. So Rutgers, meanwhile, they're coming all the way west with a day less to prepare. So for me, I actually really like this one to be a little bit more of a defensive battle than maybe the Vegas odds makers are predicting. So give me the under 58.5.
Yeah. You hit your under last week too, I think. It was Washington under with the Washington, Maryland, right? Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. All right, guys, I am starting. I'm starting with Pat's ancestors. I'm taking the NC State Wolfpack plus 22.5 in South
Ooh.
Bend. So I'm going to start by giving some love to Notre Dame. They're 3-2, but both losses were to top 10 teams by a combined 4 points. Since then, they've outscored opponents 140-50, and they rank top 10 in scoring offense. So they're good, and they will put up points. But North Carolina State, while they've been inconsistent, they've had some baffling losses, and they're kind of up and down, but they can be very dangerous. I think when you go to South Bend, you're bringing your A game, you're prepared. They're also top 50 in total and scoring offense. Quarterback CJ Bailey is 4th nationally in passing. Running back Hollywood Smothers is 2nd in the nation in rushing. Guys, they got some talented players here. Both defenses are average. Neither is elite. I'm not worried about either one. 22.5 points. That just feels like a lot with, especially with Notre Dame looking ahead maybe to USC, their biggest rival. They're one of their biggest rivals next week. I like the Wolfpack play. That's just too many points. What do you got, Pat, for number 2?
Man, I got early look ahead line. Lions, is it getting 1.5 against the Chiefs? Maybe I read that wrong.
Dude, I couldn't believe that. Yeah, I'd bet that right now. I'd bet it right now.
Like they beat them last year, didn't they, to open the season?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think they'll do it again.
Detroit's not losing. Detroit may not lose a game the rest of the year.
So good. Yeah. But yeah, 1.5. Getting points. I'll take that all day long. And by the way, did you see I was mentioned the Dallas overs last week? I hit that one again. Dallas, any game Dallas is playing, I don't care the number. I'm taking the over this year.
Yeah. I don't think that's bad. I will say I bet by kickoff that line will be reversed. I bet Detroit will be favored by 1.5, especially if Kansas City loses today.
And is that in Detroit Sunday Night Football?
No, it's in Kansas City.
It's in Kansas City. Okay. So this line to me feels like the biggest trap, and I don't understand it, but I just couldn't. I kept coming back to it, and that is Fresno State minus 6.5 at Colorado State. Okay, Fresno State's actually pretty good. Colorado State stinks. Yeah. They're terrible. They just lost to Wazoo. I mean, they're that bad. So, look, I'm not going to bet against streaks. Give me the Bulldogs, and they're the most amazing helmets of all time.
So it's actually funny you say that, dude. This week to me is more than any other week. There's always one week every year, and this is it, where there are probably a handful of games that are just like, oh, mama, that's easy money. That line, what are you guys thinking? And it almost always goes the opposite way.
Yeah.
Almost always goes the opposite way. That is one I looked at. I'm not kidding, Bill. That was a weird one.
Right.
The other one I almost picked
somehow
as a best bet, and then I started looking into it more, and it was Jacksonville State at Sam Houston. Sam Houston is 0-5. Now, Jacksonville State's no juggernaut, but Sam Houston's 0-5. They're 0-5 against the spread, too. They have not covered a spread. They're one of 3 teams in the nation. They are terrible. I mean, they are terrible. They are only getting 7.5 points. And I'm like, oh my God, I have to take Jacksonville State. I got into the numbers. I'm like, Jacksonville State's not that good, either. So I'm staying away from that. But my number 2 is actually one that I think when you just hear this, you're going to be like, dude, why are you picking this team? I am taking Kansas State plus 1.5 against TCU. TCU's 4-1. Kansas State's 2-4. Disappointed by all, everyone's been disappointed to them. Slow start to season. But I really like the Wildcats in this, actually. So first of all, they're at home, so that's good. They're in Manhattan. Keep in mind that all 4 of their losses have been by a combined 13 points. They've been in a lot of close games. They nearly upset Baylor last week by slowing down the number 1 passing offense in the nation. They held them under their normal passing yardage output. They now face another high-flying passing team in TCU. That's how TCU scores points. They're going to be ready again. They knew what to do to Baylor. They're going to be able to not slow them down per se, because Baylor still scored points, but they did hold them under their yardage average. Quarterback Avery Johnson is rounding into form finally. Last week, he threw for 339 yards, 2 touchdowns. He added 72 rushing yards. TCU's 4-1. They're a good team. Their only loss was by 3 at Arizona State. But visiting Manhattan, Kansas is not easy. It's going to be hostile. Chris Kleeman knows K-State must get on a hot streak and stack some wins to reach a bowl. I love when I can get a home dog, no matter what the number of points is I'm getting. Give me K-State plus 1.5 here. All right, what do you got, Pat, for your number 3?
All right, Bills giving 3.5, minus 3.5 against the Falcons.
Ooh,
got to take the
Monday Night
Bills.
Football.
All day long, they're going to wash that taste out of their mouth.
That seems low.
They're going to wash that taste out of their mouth from that loss.
Where is the game in Atlanta? The game's got to be in Atlanta.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Which, whatever, Atlanta. But yeah, Josh Allen. I feel like he needs an elite receiver. Man, Diggs looked really good against them. Diggs was so fired up. Sweet. Yeah. But that's the thing. I feel like Josh Allen needs a go-to receiver. Yeah, he's got a couple mediocre dudes, but I think if you give him a good receiver, that's my one hesitation. But I'm still going to pick the Bills because I feel like they're going to want to wash that taste out of their mouth from New England.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Good one.
We'll be recording next week, waiting for Pat's 3rd Stone Cold Lock to get final. Isn't that that's the new thing?
That's true. He likes those Monday night. That's right. That's hilarious.
And
NFL, the Monday night.
I just, when it's this early, I hate picking games on Monday. I'd rather pick Tuesday or Wednesday.
Yeah.
Sorry.
No problem. I like that one. I'm just always surprised when you go against Michael Penix.
Michael Penix is a great quarterback. He is fantastic. But yeah, for 13, Josh Allen is going to bring the hurt.
I love it. Okay, so I'm interested to get Bierman's take on my 3rd Stone Cold Lock. I just kept coming back to this game, and I thought, why am I messing around with these other ones when this one keeps speaking to me? So Michigan is at the Coliseum playing USC. The under is 57.5. Okay, now this is what I found interesting. Michigan has not been involved in a game all season that went over 57 points.
Yeah.
Okay. USC has pretty much only played games that were over 60 points. So it's going to be this interesting battle of styles, and I'm just really curious to see who wins out. But I just love Michigan's ball control, good defense. That's kind of where they built their program on forever and ever. And I just keep looking at this game thinking there's no way this thing gets over 57. Yeah, give me the under 57.5.
Yeah, if you twist my arm, I would take the under, but I don't. That's a tricky one. I don't know how USC's defense has been either, because a lot of that's going to come into Michigan scoring.
Yeah,
Michigan can be explosive.
Yeah.
So Michigan can score. Obviously, they can run. They have one of the, I think, top 5 rushing offenses, and so
a lot of that's
their defense. Too, right? Their defense isn't quite what it's been the last few years, but it's still good. But USC's pretty. Lincoln Riley can sling it. So it seems high to me, but I'm not quite as in love with it.
Yeah,
I don't think as you are. But yeah, it makes sense.
We'll see. Come on, Michigan defense.
Yeah, come on, Michigan. For me, guys, I rarely pick the big docket games because I never feel super comfortable about them. It's hard. They're just hard for me to get my head wrapped around, but I love this one, guys. The news of Alabama's death has been greatly exaggerated. They've bounced back nicely from their week 1 loss to Florida State. They've had 4 straight wins, including 24-21 at Georgia and a solid, nice win over Vanderbilt on Saturday. Ty Simpson is settling in well at quarterback. Their offense is clicking. Defense is looking like classic Tide. But not so fast, my friend. Missouri is flying under the radar, and in my opinion, is the most underrated team in the country. Guys, Missouri boasts the number 1 ranking in the country in total defense. Okay. Oh, by the way, they also boast the number 2 ranking in total offense in the entire country. This team is so balanced and so dangerous. Quarterback Bo Pribula is steady. He gets a lot of the headlines, but running back Ahmad Hardy leads the nation in rushing. Number 1 in rushing yardage, Ahmad Hardy. He's a complete stud, guys. And in a weird scheduling quirk, this is Missouri's 6th straight home game to start the season. They have not been on the road yet all season long. 6th straight game. So they're comfortable there this season. They feel good there. They're going to feel at home. Fairfield crowd's going to be rowdy. Missouri +3. +3. It's another home dog. I just love. I
Did you just say
win the game?
They're gonna feel at home.
Yeah, I did say that. I did say that.
They're gonna feel at home.
Sometimes you can just let things go, Pat. Sometimes
no, I can't. I have to, because you're always so mean to me. It's my turn to get back.
They are going to feel at home.
At home.
Oh, you're such a dick. All right, Missouri +3 live home underdog. They could shock the Tide and win it outright. Guys, a few weeks ago, we had a great time doing our favorite toys top 5. And I think this idea came up. It might have been from Pat Klatt, so I'll give him a little bit of credit. So we're going to do it now. We're going to rank our 5 favorite childhood games of all time. Now, these must be physical or made-up games, such as like tag or hide and seek. Plenty of others. They cannot be board games. They cannot be card games. So, but the criteria you use, though, completely up to you in how you want to rate it. It could be the most fun, most creative, most nostalgic, whatever you want to do. All right, Pat, number 5 and 4. What do you got?
All right. Well, we had a lot of games in the summer outside in the neighborhood, a lot of kids in the neighborhood. And number 5 is Ditch, which is basically hide and seek, but we called it Ditch. It's on a bigger scale. We lived in a 4-block area, so all of our houses were kind of around this square 4-block area, and there's in the middle of this 4-block area, our neighbor had like the whole middle was his, and they had like gardens. They'd have tours and stuff, and you weren't supposed to go in there, but so the boundary was all the inside the 4-block radius. And so it was a big space to cover. So you'd play in teams of like 5-on-5 or whoever was available that night. And I mean, I just remember those games going on forever, and they were so much fun.
Okay.
And yeah, we'd be jumping over fences, going through backyards. Back then, not a lot of security systems, and people wouldn't shoot you for going on their property. But we were fence jumping. We knew all the spots, and yeah,
that sounds fun.
Yeah,
I've never played that, but it sounds like a game I would have enjoyed.
Yeah, Ditch was a good
number
one.
4.
Number 4, I went with Capture the Flag.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Capture the
I
Flag.
only didn't put it on mine because I figured you guys would, but it's a good one. Definitely an honorable.
Yeah. Capture the Flag, pretty straightforward. I remember doing this a lot in gym class, but then we took the game back home with us, and we would play it from time to time. And same thing is the 4-block area. You can hide the flag anywhere, and we had some good games. So, yep.
Yeah.
Billy?
That's awesome. I really love this top 5 because it was fun to just reminisce about all the great games. It was hard to keep it to 5.
Yeah.
So I went with, and there's some funny names I think as I was doing this. The first one is a game called Muff. Okay, now you guys aren't soccer guys, so I'm not
Love
sure you would
Muff.
remember this. Yeah, I mean, I knew this was going to open it up to all sorts
Yeah.
of great commentary, but this is actually a fun soccer juggling game. So you do it in a group.
Was there a lot of
You're bumped.
diving?
Not a lot of diving in Muff.
No, that's too
Yeah,
bad.
you know. Yeah, no, I know. I knew I was either
Oh,
going to put this
this-
higher on my list,
Yeah.
but I had to start it as my number 5 because I knew it was going to get so much commentary. So this one's it actually is really fun. If you make a bad touch, if you know the ball drops to the ground. Yeah, I'm trying to clarify now.
I
gotta
mean, I
clarify
am
everything.
so immature. What is
No,
wrong with
it's
me?
just it'll
Yeah.
never get old.
You
We'll be
can't.
doing
Yeah.
we'll be on episode 600 and we'll still be laughing at jokes like this. So what happens is it's just like horse in basketball where if you make a bad touch you get an M, then you get a U, then you get an F, so on and so on. So if you lose and you get if you get the muff, okay, then you have to go up to the wall and you stand there while everybody just pings shots at you. Okay, now if they hit you, then they get to shoot again. If they hit you in the ass, then they jump forward, and so they're a lot closer, and then they can ping shots. I love Bierman's just rolling.
Great. I mean,
Yeah.
this
Yeah.
is. But I'm gonna make this my number 1, and I've never played it before.
Yeah, it's. Yeah, I mean, next time when we get together, when we have our
You
nailed
never
it
played
weekend,
with Muff?
Yeah, I mean, I'm bringing a soccer ball and we'll play Muff.
I'm married, so it's been a while.
Oh, yeah.
All right, so that's my number 4. Great game. Very terrifying when your buddy is just ready to just smoke a soccer ball right at your ass from very short range. So that one's fun. My number 4 is Bump. So I'm sure you guys have played this, right? Bump is the pyramid.
Muff and Bump.
Muff and Bump. Yeah.
Bill, 20 minutes before this, Bill's like, "Fuck, I gotta come up with top 5. What are some good? Oh, Muff, yeah, Muff.
Uh-huh.
What else? Bump.
That sounds good. These are all children's games. Remember as well. Yeah, it's just classic. Bump is it's from the free throw line. You guys have never played Bump?
No.
Okay, so you have a line of people.
Oh,
you have two
we call it lightning.
basketballs.
We called it lightning.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so the first guy shoots. If they score, then they go to the back of the line. Ball goes back to the line. But the second person, if you miss, if they get the basketball in before you do, then that first player is out. But there's a ton of different rule variations you can do where you can actually take your ball and like bump the other ball like 50 feet over to the side. And then they're of course scrambling over there to get the ball and get back and lay it in or whatever. So it's a really fun one. So Muff and Bump. Bierman, you're not going to top those
AKA
names.
Lightning. Yep.
AKA Lightning.
I love Bump and Muff. Okay. My number 5
A little bit of bump.
Bumps.
A little bump and
Bumps.
some Muff.
My number 5 is
Sounds like a Friday night.
Is TV tag, which is basically freeze tag with a twist. Now tell me you guys have played this, right?
I did. Yeah, I
played
know
TV tag. So dude, TV tag, it's basically freeze tag where somebody's in it, they're running after you, try and touch you, but the twist is if right before they touch you, if you yell a random television show name, you can sit down and then you have like a free pass. They have to go to somebody else. But then if you are frozen, somebody has to, someone else can come by you and I think either
unfreeze
you or do they have to
go between your legs?
Go between your legs. I think they have to go between your legs
to
unfreeze you, and then you get to go. But I mean, but here's the thing: you can only yell the same TV show once. The entire game, it can only be used once. So if I yell Happy Days, Pat can't use Happy Days. Pat would have to say Charlie's Angels or some other awesome bitchin' show from back then. But once it's said, it's off. Yeah.
Storage Wars.
So, and then Guys, my number 4 is really a dumb game, but my number 4 is Pickle.
Oh,
Did you guys ever play? Dude,
that's on my list.
Loved it. Oh, okay. It's a dumb game in the sense that there's really not much to it. You're really just running back and forth between two bases.
The best.
Yeah.
But it does make you feel like you're like in the major leagues, because every time I see somebody get caught, I'm like, I think of Pickle, and you're like, what would you do? How do you get out of it? I love when it's very rare, but I do love in the majors when a guy somehow gets back to a base safe. And I just, as a kid, for some reason, I loved trying to either get to that base faster than they could throw it, or somehow juke them, thinking, they throw it and they make a bad throw or whatever. Because we're kids, so we're not very good at that shit. We're not like the pros. So I don't know. I loved Pickle.
100%.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah. All right, Pat.
Good
what do you got?
game.
Number 3 and 2.
Number 3, I went with lava, which is like the sand
Dude,
is lava.
Are you guys literally just making up 4-letter fucking names for the? I mean, I have never heard of any of these games.
I think it was called lava. I can't remember the name, but like we would go to the play.
See,
you go to the playground.
He's not even sure that's what he literally was Googling.
I'm pretty sure it was called lava.
Name?
But
what would be a good name for
you go? Yeah,
lava?
but at least I didn't come up with Muff. All right,
that's way better than
Muff,
lava.
Bump, and Pickle. Those are the
lava
three kids
is
names
essentially
that I came up with.
You can't. So at the playground, you know how like all the monkey bars and all that stuff has sand under. Ours used to have like sand, Now they got like foam and special stuff like that. But back then it was sand inside an enclosed space, and the sand was lava. You couldn't touch the sand, so you played tag within the whole structure. You got the monkey bars, the slide coming down.
I don't think it's called lava, but that's, or I didn't.
Oh, I know what it's called. It was called Shut the Fuck Up, Eric. Yeah.
That's a great kids game.
Name for
that
it.
was a fun kids game.
I loved when my teacher, Mrs. Jackson, said, "Hey, does anybody want to come out and recess and play Shut the Fuck Up, Eric?"
It's a fun game. You should play it sometime. Yeah. Anyway, so lava.
That's awesome.
All right, I got another one. Eric's probably gonna think this is made up, but it's called Lemonade.
Probably.
Did you ever play Lemonade?
Shut up. Dude, are you just fucking with me right now?
No, and you probably think I'm making this up too. So there's 2 teams, and you have boundaries. So it's almost like end zones. Okay, so you got 2 end zones, and there's 2 teams, and the first team walks up, and they say, "Here we come," and the other team says, "Where from?" And then you say, "New York," and then they say, "What's your trade?" And you say, "Lemonade." And then they go, "Show us something if you're not afraid." And that's when you start acting out the charades. And you have to be like close. Like you have to go all the way down to their end zone and you start acting out what you're doing. So like, let's say we're playing basketball. So we all start pretending we're playing basketball. And as soon as someone on that team says basketball, you run to the other end. You try to get back to your end zone without getting tagged. And if you get tagged, then you go on to the other team. And it's, you try to get everyone on your team. Eric, these are games that we play as kids that I remember fondly.
All right.
Why Lemonade? Why is it called Lemonade?
I don't know.
That's a strange
I mean, in
name.
fairness to Pat, why the fuck is your game called Muff?
Yeah,
Okay.
exactly.
Yeah.
At least we kept it.
That makes
we
perfect
kept it
sense.
PG.
Let's continue on with our top 5 favorite made-up games of all time. All right, Sandman, what do you got?
All right, my number 3 is quick because it's Beerman already mentioned it. It's Pickle. I just loved everything about this. We used to put the batting helmets on. We'd put the batting gloves on. Like, even though we weren't batting, we're just running back and forth. We'd try to get the biggest possible lead you could get, and then diving back to the base. And then, of course, if you're on the base, you do the fake throwback. and then the guy leads off and you get the tag,
dude, it was
totally
fantastic.
gotcha. Yeah, I mean, all those things were so great about Pickle. And to Eric's point, we probably weren't as good, so the ball got through a lot of times, and then you're just getting as many bases as you can get while the guy's chasing it down the street. We played on the grass, but what we did learn about Pickle though is we actually did not use the hard ball, because there were too many times where you just got drilled.
You would get drilled.
Yeah. So we went tennis ball.
Yeah, we used the tennis ball.
We went rag ball or tennis ball. Yeah.
And I think that was my dad saying, "Hey kids, you should probably use a tennis ball."
Here comes Bill. He's crying again because Cotton's hit him in the face with the hard ball. Yeah. So Pickle, that's a great one. So my second one, I loved playing this so much, but I actually felt a little bad because this one feels a little like manufactured. But did you guys ever play laser tag?
Yeah.
Laser tag? No,
Yeah,
Pat, never.
You never played laser tag, Pat? Wow.
Laser tag was like the
too busy
ultimate.
playing Lemonade.
We couldn't afford lasers. We had to make up games like Lemonade.
Laser tag was like the coolest game to play at John Cotton's orchard in Iniat, Washington, which is this 5-acre apple orchard. It would be dark. We'd go full camo. We did it up with the laser tag. But I mean, I just remember the fear of sitting there behind a tree or whatever, and then you get up and then all of a sudden you're like your laser is getting like tagged.
It's basically paintball.
Like paintball. Yeah, we used to do the same thing with like little Nerf guns. Yeah, that was fun.
Oh yeah. Just super fun.
It's all awesome.
Yeah, it was just awesome to play in the dark in this giant apple orchard and super fun. And the technology at the time was so cool that you could just wear this little belt with the thing on it. But anyway, laser tag's my number 2. Bierman?
Awesome. Nice. All right, number 3, guys. Oh man, I loved Foursquare, and honestly, I've played it a few times as an adult, and those competitive juices just keep flowing back every single time. All you needed was a rubber bouncy red ball, 4 squares drawn on the ground, often used like chalk or something. But I mean, it's just, you got I don't know. Did you guys play like A, B, C, or D, or did you guys play like King, Queen?
King, Queen.
Yeah. What were the other 2?
King, Queen,
Jack.
Toilet.
I don't know what those are.
Toilet was like the last one, I think.
It was,
tell me what you guys are talking about. I don't know that.
Foursquare.
Yeah, no, I know Foursquare, but I don't remember King, Queen, or
the Foursquare.
I want to be King Square.
King Square is like the A square, so you can play A, B, C, D, or what Pat and I are. There was like a king is the first.
Okay.
Well, that's where you want to be. Queen was second. And then
I don't remember Joker and garbage.
Joker and garbage.
Or Joker and toilet or something like that. Yeah.
I think it was Joker was definitely one of them. And then you're right. The fourth one was someone
else. Do you
else,
move up?
Yeah.
Into the King Square?
So you want it. The whole point is to get to the King Square and stay in the King Square as long as you can. And then as soon as you hit this ball, you can only it can bounce one time into the square, and then if they can't get it, it goes out. They're out, and then there's like a waiting line usually, and then that next person comes in, starts on the D square or the garbage square.
You could wind up and chuck it.
Oh yeah.
And then I was actually really
cherry
good.
bombs.
Well, the other one was
all the little rules.
People
or whatever.
They'd wind up and like they're gonna chuck it, and then they just drop it. And then you had to make the rule: no babies.
You kind of had
no
to make
typewriters.
Rules. Yeah,
you can't. Yeah, there were so many rules.
Yeah. I remember all the rules. Yeah,
there were a lot of rules. Yeah. So, and then my number 2, guys. This is one I loved, and I actually introduced this to my kids. We play it every year on our beach vacation to this day in the water, and they absolutely love it. And this is, I don't know what you guys called it. We called it either 500 or jackpot.
Oh,
do you guys know what I'm talking about? Okay.
Throw it in the air, call out a number.
Yeah, you throw it in the air and you yell like a number, 100, and then they catch it or don't catch it because you can call live or dead. If it's dead, it can hit the ground first. If it's live, they got to catch it. I mean, I remember I would like freaking elbow kids out
Oh,
of the
yeah.
way, dive for shit, get in. I mean, I was a dynamo trying to get these balls. Nothing was standing in my way to get these points. I loved that game. And the whole reason was you wanted to win, because if you won, then you got to be the thrower.
Yeah.
And then you could and then there was even like a mystery box. Did you guys ever play the mystery box?
No.
Oh yeah, mystery box was like sometimes it was good, sometimes it was bad.
Yeah.
So you just caught it, but then you'd be like, yeah, you actually have to sit out for 3 turns.
Oh, wow.
Or it'd be like, you got 250 points because I like you and you're my best friend, Tommy. I mean, it was just so fucking random. But yeah, I loved 500.
That's
All
great.
right.
Eh.
What do you got, Pat, for number 1?
My number 1 was a game we played called Stealing Shit and Running from the Cops. And it was a lot of No, actually. My number 1 was a game we called Stickball, which is a variation of baseball, which is other people have called it Strikeout. But basically, we would take our old, no longer good hockey sticks, saw off the blade, and then wrap up tape around the base. And then you'd go and we'd carry around this big piece of plywood that had a duct tape strike zone. And then you'd prop up the plywood behind the batter. They'd have it, and you basically just play baseball. But you had to, wherever you had the plywood or wherever you were playing, you had to establish rules like, okay, if you hit it in the street, it's a single. If you hit it over the street, it's a double. If it hits the house, it's a triple. If it goes over the house, it's a home run. Or over the gutters. It's got to be over the gutters to be a home run. And man, essentially it's baseball, but that's what I did growing up. That was it. I mean, that's all we wanted to play. Stickball was the best.
That's awesome.
How many of our kids actually play any of these games outside?
No, they don't go outside. They don't go outside. It's not good. But
yeah,
I gave up on our youth and raising my kids, so they're gonna fend for themselves. They don't get the joy.
I don't know. You start teaching them about Muff, they might want to play.
Yeah, I'll go outside. Hell yeah.
Yeah, my number 1 is a game called Amazing Catches, and it is exactly what it sounds like. My buddy Chris Lowry had the best backyard. He had a big grass patch. He had this fence. It had trees behind. So one guy stands there and would throw a baseball. The other guy's running along there like he's an outfielder, and you're just robbing catches over the top of the fence. And like when the feeling of bringing those things back was just the greatest thing ever.
That
diving,
fun,
we do diving catches. Not everyone was over the fence, right? But that was just the best. And then we'd go over the top with it. Like we would interview the guy after he like brought this thing back over the fence. And then it was just like, go in and have the interview with the guy and just be like, oh, I saw it the whole way. I just had to go get that thing. I mean, it was huge for our team. We did the whole deal.
Dude, that's hilarious.
It was, we played that for hours in his backyard. I mean, just so fun. Makes me want to be a kid again.
Right.
That's hilarious, dude. That is awesome. All right, guys. My number 1 is such an easy one for me. And a lot of our games have been like outdoor games. This is a lunchroom game. I played this game all the time in the lunchroom, and I'm sure you guys did too. We called it football flick or flick football, but I think a lot of people call it paper football.
Yeah.
Oh my God, guys. I mean, you just, first of all, just making the football, like folding it. I could make a great one right now within like 20 seconds. I did so many of them. Loved it. And then you're like, so where you like have to like hit the football across the table, and then eventually you got to flick it, and then eventually you got to like land it so like half the football's like on the edge of the table. That's a touchdown. And then that's the best part, what you just did. The other guy has to go like this, and then you get to flick the football around him, and it always hits him in the face, which was even better. Oh my God. I mean, that game, I mean, we played that, I feel like every lunch period for 4 straight years. So, okay. All right, guys. Well, that was a very fun top 5, a nice trip down memory lane. And it was just overall another great show. Nice to have the band back together. Bill, love you, brother. So great to see you again.
Thanks, boys.
And Pat, as always, you rock, my friend. Of course, thank you to everyone in Sandman Nation for joining us and listening. We appreciate and love you. And be sure to check us out at sandmansports.com or follow us on social media. We'd all love to keep it going tonight, but sadly, it is time to exit Sandman Sports. Have a great weekend, everyone. Enjoy the games. Peace out and take care.
Good luck, everybody.